Welcome to NSCtv, your behind-the-scenes look at the athletes, programs, and people at the National Sports Center. I'm your host, Scott Clayson. Today, we are in the NSC Sports Hall, where behind me, a lot of prospective players under the watchful eye of head coach Manny Lagos are looking for a tryout with the new pro soccer team, the NSC Minnesota Stars. We have signed a few players in the last few weeks. NSCtv was at some training sessions where we were able to talk to some of the new players about the latest team news.
Originally out of the Chicago area, pretty much played there from 5 to 17. From there I graduated high school early and actually played in the Czech Republic for AC Sparta Prague. I can expect a 90-minute player. Pretty much every game I'll be running everywhere. I'm a very creative player. I like to use all my abilities creatively and express myself on the field and give the fans some type of show that they can come out and enjoy, not just see a win. A win is good, but they deserve something better than just a win at the end of the day. 2010, I'm just excited to start building relationships with the guys on the team. Obviously there aren't a lot of guys signed yet, but I'm excited to get back up here every week and meet new guys, and I'm excited to be in a new city, Minneapolis. I've been all over the world and excited to be back home in the U.S. and show my stuff here again.
When I went to school at Woodbury, I used to play against the Pro-Am, against Johnny back when he was a little younger and playing for the Thunder, and so I've been playing against him for a long time. He's a great player. Andre Gotsmanoff, I played in high school, and he actually came down. I got him to play at Creighton too. I've known him for a long time. And BC and I are really good friends, Villikis, and I'm really excited so far. And I know they just signed a young guy who's, I think, going to have a really good career, and this is going to be his first year. We'll see what he's got. All my family and my friends, my girlfriend's here, so I want to play for Minnesota. You know, I was here when they were winning championships, and I want to bring this back to the new NSC club. So. I think fans normally know me as the hard-nosed defender, and I'll still be that, but I'm going to settle down a little bit this year. I've been working a lot on my passing and my fitness in the off-season, and I just plan on coming to every game and competing for the full 90. This year, if we come out and compete and fight every game, I want to try and make the playoffs and see if we can make a run at the championship.
Next week will be the official combine for the NSC Minnesota Stars from March 1st through the 4th. Over 100 players from all over the country will be coming in here to the National Sports Center looking for a spot on the new roster. Next week's episode of NSCtv will cover the entire event. Minnesota has an enthusiastic group of fans who gather at the Sweetwater Bar and Grill in St. Paul to watch the U.S. national team play as they prepare for the World Cup this summer. NSCtv took a field trip last night to take in the U.S. national team's game against El Salvador. We got a chance to talk to several of the fans about the history of viewing parties and their thoughts on the new Minnesota team.
It really comes down to the camaraderie of friends that I've met through soccer. You know, like we're all here, but we're also friends outside of soccer. So, we do road trips together. Maybe you're around soccer, but you get to know people outside of, and it's just a lot of fun. That's why we're here, and you get to support the U.S. team, which is always nice, and support the Thunder or the NSC Minnesota. So it's soccer here in Minnesota.
I mean, the large part of it obviously is the love of the game. In about 2003, after the World Cup, I was looking for a place to watch the game with other people because I'd spent, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. up watching the U.S. play a game and screaming, waking up my neighbors and pissing them off. So I went onto the web and looked for people to watch games with, and met up with a few of the guys who were here.
One of the few soccer-friendly bars that I've been to in the Twin Cities where I knew it was the right place when a Vikings game was on and he let us change the channel to soccer and nobody cared.
Saeed, the owner, is a big soccer fan, and so when he found out that there was a market for people to come and watch the game that he also enjoyed. He started putting up all these posters and jerseys and stuff.
Saeed, who owns the place, he is super friendly, loves the game. You look around, you'll see autographs from Pele on the wall, and you can really tell he loves it. So we just kind of took the place over.
The one and only legendary Tom Donovan has his own Facebook group. He's a legend of Minnesota soccer fan. He goes around to USA soccer games and World Cups. Look at this guy. This is Rich, long-time Minnesota Thunder fan, and obviously here for the U.S. national game.
What I think the biggest thing that I think they proved to us is we asked them to be a U.S. soccer bar, and they said yes. They paid the money, and it's an official U.S. soccer bar. So. The best game I've ever seen here was the USA-Honduras qualifier in Honduras. That was pay-per-view only. So they actually ponied up the money for us to watch the game. We weren't sure if it was going to be a success or not, but I showed up 40 minutes before the game and the place was sold out. It was ridiculous. I was standing room only. We finally got people like in the hallways and the other rooms to watch the game.
How do you feel about the direction of the new Minnesota Stars team so far?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, you know, the alternative is not to have a team, and I don't really think that's a viable alternative. I think that if someone has the means to make a really great soccer team in Minnesota, it's going to be the NSC.
Johnny Younger, best thing that ever happened in Minnesota soccer.
Johnny was with the Thunder for a long time and a known name in the Minnesota soccer community. I mean, when Rochester came to play the Thunder, he always brought out, like, there's like the Johnny Younger cheering section against the home team.
The tiny ticket is going to lead us to the playoffs this year.
I think it's a great move to bring in somebody that's known and has an established fan base, and he's always been a great player.
Gatsmanov is definitely an MLS caliber player who I think is just, you know, he showed what kind of person he was when he decided to go to college and finish his degree rather than just skipping school early to go to the New England Revolution tryouts.
Gatsmanovs obviously have like a pretty big history. I used to play with Sasha back in the day. They always work hard. So
I mean, any time that you sign a quality guy like Civilicus, who likes to come celebrate with the beer garden after he scores a goal, I mean, it's a real winner to me. So
I am very psyched about the core of the team. I'm looking forward to the new signings coming up, but I think we have 3 good players to build around.
Great. Looks like Manny's kind of put together a pretty good team, and it's Manny's team. He's going to run with it, and you know what? As long as they're a hard-working team, we're going to support them through and through.
Clearly, it's a fun time to be a soccer fan here in Minnesota with the birth of our new professional soccer team and the World Cup to look forward to this summer. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of NSC TV. As always, you can find us on our website at nscsports.org, and I'm your host, Scott Clayson.
If there's anything that the team needs before players and before properly inflated soccer balls or even a coach, they kind of jump the gun. They really need a mascot. And there's no better mascot than Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster.
You can cut that out.
I mean, it's the NSC. It just spells out Nessie. And it can really strike fear into the hearts of the opponents.
In hopes of doing, I don't know what, something.
Kids are going to love it because it's a friendly monster unless you hate NSC Minnesota.
Look at the athletes, programs, and
grainy images, but I believe, and the rest of the NSC Minnesota fans believe in NSC.